Welcome again, 2022-23 Heart of America Athletic Conference Men's Wrestling Media Day. Cody Goodwin here, talking with Iowa Wesleyan with head coach Jake Cadle and wrestler Brent Ward. Guys, how we doing today?
Doing good. Couldn't be better.
Doing good. Jake, I know fully pushed into the head coaching position not too long ago. What have the last few months been like for you, not just with the men's side, but I know you're balancing the women's program as well.
Yeah, it's been a little bit of chaos, but it's good. So, I mean, we're making it work. We got a good staff here that helps with that. So, good administration helps on that aspect too. And so, just been super busy with recruiting on both ends. And on top of that, we got competition starting up. We had our first competition last weekend. We got a dual meet tomorrow for the men, and then women will be the next day after that. So we're staying busy.
What is the key to balancing everything that you have to balance there as being in charge of both programs?
I would say communication and planning and organizing are probably the most important things. We got to obviously plan ahead of time, schedule-wise, practice-wise, all that stuff. But then also it's important to have good people surrounding you on your staff and things like that to balance all the different jobs that need to be taking place at one time kind of deal. So some of the things that kind of come to mind.
Yeah. As you've been in this role, I guess in various iterations, over the last couple of years, what was kind of the first thing that you felt like you had to do to kind of establish, the foundation you wanted to lay, the culture you wanted to build, when you took over the head job, specifically on the men's side?
Yeah, so the goal, I mean, obviously we had a 6-year assistant coach, and so that was an important part. You have to have somebody that you trust and that is on the same wavelength as you with all the goals and aspects. So we're fortunate we got Coach Cash. He stuck around here and helped us out. So that was kind of the first thing. And then from there, you got to kind of establish the culture like you talked about, and that's important for us. So establishing that with the team and then trying to make sure we retained as many athletes as possible over the summer. And then on top of that, you got recruiting. And so we kind of got a little setback on the recruiting aspect last year just because we didn't start until like December or so last year. So we were a little behind the ball on that aspect. So it made it a little tougher on the men's side. But we got a lot better team this year, I feel like. And then we got some really good kids that came in. And then we got kids like Brent here that have been putting in the work and are consistently getting a lot better. So
awesome. That's great to hear. What do you like about this year's team specifically? I know you guys have you guys got Russell off. You guys competed last weekend. What do you like about what you've seen so far?
So far, I would say we're finally getting some leaders this year, so last year we just had a super young team. And so we had all freshmen in the lineup pretty much. And so we finally got some experience this year, some leadership, some kids are stepping up and showing the other kids how things work and getting extra workouts in on their own. And we preach a lot of independence on your own, getting extra workouts and things like that in. And finally this year, we don't have to preach that as much. They're kind of doing it on their own. And then on top of that, the biggest thing last year was the fight aspect, trying to get our kids to continue to fight through the whole match instead of maybe you get taken down or give up after you get taken down or something like that. We finally have some kids that are competing and scrapping the whole match, and that makes a world of difference.
Awesome. Good to hear. Brent, sophomore, second year in the program. What has the experience been like for you so far?
It's been awesome. I think a lot of people have stepped up this year, and everyone wants to be here this year.
What when you transition from high school to college, obviously there's an adjustment period, but now that you're, a sophomore, how much more, where's your confidence level at now that now that you got a year under your belt, right?
Yeah, I'm a lot more confident here. I'm out here wrestling grown men now instead of some high school kids now. It's a big change.
Absolutely. Originally from Arizona, right?
Yes.
I always like to ask kids that come from out of the Midwest area. Could you point to where Iowa was at on a map before you got out here?
Probably not.
Well, what's that experience been like? Have you gotten used to the cold yet since you've been out here?
No, I hate it. I hate it.
How do you adjust coming from I guess Arizona's pretty dry heat to, nothing but wind smacking you in the face every winter?
I had to bundle up extra. No flip-flops no more.
No flip-flops. I like that. I like that. Specifically when it comes to wrestling, where do you feel like you've grown the most in, I guess the year and a half you've been out here, and, what have you most been focused on coming into this next season?
I feel like my bottom game has definitely got a lot better. We've been preaching that and working on it every day. A lot of people that I've wrestled have been very good up top. So
Yeah.
gotten a lot better.
That always seems like it's one of the toughest transitions when you go from high school wrestling to college wrestling. Was that the same way for you? What did you go about, trying to improve on that aspect?
Wrestling on the mat, a big improvement.
There you go. There you go. I know you guys already got a competition under your belt. I guess you guys had wrestle-offs and then you were able to compete this past weekend. Brent, you took second, right? Got to the finals. How do you feel like the way you competed this past weekend?
I feel like I competed a lot better than last year, and I feel a lot more confident. I feel mentally stronger and better.
Yeah. Is it more between the ears, or where do you feel like you've grown the most? Where do you feel more confident this year?
I think I got mentally stronger. Has been a big difference in the way I've been competing.
There you go. Coach, what were the overall takeaways from, getting to see them compete, not just in wrestle-offs, but getting to actually see them beat up some other dudes this past weekend?
Yeah, I was super impressed with how our kids competed this week. And honestly, I mean, like I said, there's a lot more fight in our team from start to finish. And so that was very good to see. And then also, I mean, we have kids that are they're making the finals. We got kids that are placing in the open division against like Grandview. He took out, I think, JUCO national finalist, second round? First round match against the JUCO national finalist, beat him, so it's just little things like that are adding up. And so it's super exciting to see.
Awesome. What did you, what I know coaches can kind of be cautiously optimistic, going into a season. They kind of want to see their guys wrestle other guys first before they really kind of get an assessment of where they're at. What's the focus now that you have that first competition under your belt? What are you guys hoping to improve on as the season goes here this first month?
Yeah, I'd say just building on what we saw from this weekend, and so that's kind of been a big focus, and we got to get ready for these dual meets that we have coming up. Those are important things for us to try and win, I guess. And so those are big emphasis. And then, I mean, just trying to keep our guys healthy is the next biggest thing, because the end of the year is the most important part. So we just got to find a way to stay healthy and feel good and not get burnt out at the end of the year, and then just compete to our best of our ability at the end of the year. So.
Absolutely. I think that was everything I needed from you guys, unless there's anything else you guys wanted to add.
Go Tigers.
Go Tigers. Right on. I appreciate you guys joining us today. Thank you, and best of luck this season.
Yeah, appreciate it. Thanks for having us.